Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for Northern Ag TV. Well, the U.S. Grain Council recently updated their Value of Grain Export study to show the financial benefit of ag exports to communities. The U.S. Grain Council Director of Communications, Brian Jernigan, stated that they hope to demonstrate the importance of trade worldwide by providing this resource for U.S. producers. Results from the study show that $28.9 billion in grain and grain products exported supported a total economic output of over $86 billion in 2021, with over 340,000 jobs related to grain exports. And the North Dakota State University Extension's identified regions saw an increase in cropland values in 2025. The North Dakota State average cropland prices were up double digits again for the fourth year in a row, according to the NDSU Extension Ag Finance Specialist. The state saw an 11% increase from 2023 to 24, and the past year saw a 10.5% increase. The overall increase in cropland values for the state from 2022 to 25 have changed from $2,500 an acre to $3,500 an acre. Brian Parman, the NDSU finance specialist, stated that this momentum is a bit of a surprise given that farm net incomes over the past year have decreased, along with increases in interest rates. And the applications for Montana state hail insurance programs are now available through the Department of Agriculture. Producers can insure crops against hail damages at a max coverage rate of $75 per acre for dry land and $114 an acre for irrigated lands. Rates will vary depending on which county you reside in, but state policies are available for purchase up until August 15th. For more information on the insurance applications, visit the Montana Department of Agriculture website. And recently I had the opportunity to catch up with a few Montana natives who were just recently selected to the Junior College All-American Livestock Judging Team. Huntley's Brighton, Lane, and Roundup Tyeson Gravenhof livestock judge for Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, where they competed on the sophomore livestock team. Tyeson was selected as the #1 All-American, the first in program history. If you want to hear our conversation about their journey to All-American status, visit our recent podcast at Northern Ag Network on demand. Stay with us. We'll be back with the market reports right after this.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that you know is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Well, the cattle markets continued to inch their way closer and closer to contract highs once again. Live cattle contracts have managed to trade from $1 to $2 higher, with the April contract hitting a new high with only a few days left of trade. The feeder cattle contracts are following the live cattle, with the May up $1.42 at $2.88 and the August and September contracts up around 90 cents. There was some concern for the markets, with no higher cash cattle bids surfacing, that the contracts wouldn't have enough support to break through their resistant levels, but the later live cattle contracts have managed to find that technical support. Contracts are also finding strength from the higher box beef prices. Choice cutouts are up 63 cents at $333.26. Strong demand and very high prices continue to be the story for sale barns this year. Earlier this week at Lewistown Livestock, over 1,400 head sold, including just over 300 cow-calf pairs. Heifer pairs sold from 3,500 to 4,000, with older cow-calf pairs 28.5 to 3,200. Slaughter cows sold steady to a nickel higher compared to last week, mainly selling around that 160 mark, with some highs selling for 174. And slaughter bulls sold very strong, with the top bull selling for 191 a hundredweight. And the big story for the grain markets is the soybean contracts have found modest gains due to the fact that the Trump administration announced extremely elevated tariffs on China could be reduced in efforts to bring China back to the table for trade negotiations. China, of course, is America's largest soybean importer, but there has not been an official decision made yet on these tariffs. Corn and wheat contracts were not as fortunate as soybeans. Corn futures fell around 4 cents during yesterday's session, with pressure coming from good rainfall over Brazil corn. Wheat futures fell for another day, with winter wheat conditions slightly lower than last year at this point, with the acreage among the lowest of the last century across all wheat varieties. Demand for U.S. wheat has also been dwindling the past couple of weeks, with new crop sales 18% lower than this time a year ago. KC winter wheat contract closed down around 8 cents, with the May at $5.38. Minneapolis spring wheat in May off 4 at $5.91. Well, that's going to wrap up our TV here. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.